A man who's lived enough doesn't give himself away easily. Not because he's bitter, but because life has taught him that trust is not something you gamble with. He's been there, open, honest, vulnerable, only to realize that not everyone is worthy of that kind of access. So now he moves with more caution. He speaks less, but what he does say carries weight. When he shares a piece of his past, a quiet fear, or a lingering regret, it's not accidental. It's deliberate. It means you've become something rare in his world, a safe place. Not because you impressed him with clever words, but because you showed up with consistency. Because you listened, really listened, without judgment. Because you respected the silences, and you never used his openness as a weapon. That kind of trust doesn't come easy, and if you've earned it, know this: it's not just a moment, it's a decision. One he made carefully, and one he won't make twice for just anyone. And welcome back to Journey After 60. Today, we'll uncover the simple but powerful truth: when an older man shares this with you, it's his way of saying you're not just company, you're special. If this message speaks to you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Journey After 60. Here, we don't trade in fairy tales. We share honest truths about love, aging, and connection. So let's begin with the very first sign. And it's not about what he says in passing. It's about the one thing he chooses to share when he finally feels safe with you. This is where you'll see the real difference between casual company and someone truly special in his life. Sign number 1. His hidden vulnerability. Why opening up means you're different. By the time a man reaches 60, he's learned to guard his inner world. Years of disappointments and lessons have taught him that not everyone deserves to know his fears, regrets, or quiet hopes. That's why when he shares something personal with you, it's never casual. It's a deliberate act of trust. It's not about small talk or surface-level stories. It's about the moment he lets you see the side of him he usually keeps hidden. Maybe he tells you about a health scare, a family conflict, or the loneliness he doesn't admit to anyone. To him, this isn't weakness, it's a test of safety. He's asking himself, can I be real with her and still be respected? Most women miss this. They either brush it off, rush to fix it, or turn it into judgment. And when that happens, he shuts the door again. But the woman who becomes special does something rare. She listens, she holds the space, and she doesn't weaponize what he shares. She proves she can be trusted, not just once, but every time. Because here's the truth. When an older man reveals his hidden vulnerability, it means he feels safe with you in a way he doesn't with most people. You stop being just another companion and start becoming his confidant, the one place where he can finally lay down the armor he's carried for decades. So what should you do? Honor that trust. Don't rush to solve, don't gossip, and don't push him to share more than he's ready for. Simply hold steady and respect what he offers. Over time, that patience becomes the foundation of a bond far deeper than attraction. And once you recognize this, you'll stop doubting whether you're special. because his willingness to share is already the answer. Next, we'll look at the next truth, a subtle sign that shows up not in his words, but in the choices he makes around you. Sign number 2, the shared circle. Why inclusion means you're more than company. Watch closely, because sometimes the clearest sign doesn't come in his words at all. It shows up in who he lets you stand beside. For many older men, the people and spaces they guard most closely, their family table, their lifelong friends, their daily routines, are not easily opened. If he begins to fold you into that circle, it's not convenience, it's significance. As the philosopher Seneca once wrote, one of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. For an older man, letting you into his circle isn't about adding another face at the table. It's about showing that he feels understood enough to merge his private world with yours. That act of inclusion carries more weight than any words of affection because it signals a bond that is both trusted and enduring. At this stage, he isn't introducing anyone just to fill a chair. He knows the weight of every presence in his life. So when you find yourself invited to a Sunday lunch with his children, or quietly welcomed into his morning walks, or sitting next to him at gatherings with people who've known him for decades, it's his way of saying, "You belong in my real world." Many women misunderstand that. They see the invitation as casual, or they focus on whether the children like them, or they dismiss the small daily rituals as unimportant. But the woman who's truly special notices the deeper message. She understands that being included is not about convenience, it's about trust and permanence. Because here's the truth. When an older man weaves you into the fabric of his life, he's declaring something quietly but firmly. You're not just a companion in passing. You're someone he envisions in his lasting story. So what should you do? Receive it with gratitude, but don't force it. Respect the people he values, adapt to the spaces he opens, and honor the trust he's extending. When you do, you're not just accepted, you become a natural part of the life he's choosing to build with you. As you begin to see this, you'll realize it's not the grand declarations that reveal how special you are. It's the simple, steady act of being invited into the places he calls home. And if today's message speaks to you, don't just like and subscribe. Hit the save button. That way, when you need a reminder of these truths, you can come back to it anytime. So yes, being welcomed into his circle is powerful. It shows you're part of his real world. But belonging isn't proven only when you're by his side. Sometimes the truer test is how he chooses to act when you're not there. That's what I'm going to talk in the next part. Sign number 3. His quiet consistency. Why his actions in your absence speak loudest. It's easy to say the right words when you're together. Anyone can promise love, loyalty, or devotion in the moment. But what truly sets a man apart, especially after 60, is how he carries your presence when you're not in the room. Does he remember to check in, not out of habit, but out of care? Does he respect your time by showing up when he says he will? Does he speak of you with pride to others, even when you'll never hear it? These small, consistent choices may look ordinary, but for an older man, they reveal something extraordinary. You matter to him beyond convenience. I've seen this firsthand with my own uncle. After my aunt passed, he spent years convinced he'd never let anyone close again. But when he finally began seeing someone, the sign that told me she was truly special wasn't the flowers he brought her or the dinners they shared. It was how he spoke about her when she wasn't there. He'd casually mention her advice when fixing something around the house, or smile as he told us how she made his mornings brighter with just a short phone call. He never boasted, never exaggerated. He simply carried her into his daily conversations, as if she'd become part of his very rhythm. When an older man shows you reliability instead of excuses, when his actions align with his words without you having to chase or remind him, it means you've become more than a passing connection. You've become someone he chooses, even when no one is watching. And the mistake most women make is that they measure love by constant attention, by dramatic words, or by how often he reassures them. But men his age have learned that real commitment isn't noise, it's steadiness. It's the repeated decision to honor you in the quiet, ordinary rhythms of life. The best way to respond to these quiet signs is to meet them with the same steadiness. Notice and appreciate his consistency, the calls, the promises kept, the way he carries your presence into his daily life. Reflect that back with your own reliability. Keep your word, honor his trust, and let him see that you're as dependable as he is. Express gratitude in simple, genuine ways. A warm smile, a soft thank you, or by making space for him in your own routines. Love after 60 doesn't thrive on constant drama or grand gestures. It grows through these ordinary rhythms repeated over time. When you recognize and nurture those patterns, you create the kind of bond that feels safe, lasting, and deeply fulfilling. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you noticed these signs in your own life or relationships? Share your experience in the comments below, because your story might be the reminder someone else truly needs today. His quiet consistency shows you're in his heart even when you're not around. Yet love isn't proven only by steady actions. It's revealed in the rare moments when he allows himself to lean on you. Let's take it seriously now. Sign number 4, letting you in. Why accepting your care means you're truly special. For many men past 60, giving is easier than receiving. They've spent a lifetime being providers, protectors, the ones who carry the weight so no one else has to. Admitting need, whether emotional or physical, often feels foreign, even uncomfortable. That's why when an older man allows you to care for him, it's never a small gesture. It's a signal of trust, and it means he sees you as more than a passing companion. From my own research, I found this pattern confirmed again and again. In fact, a survey by the AARP revealed that nearly 68% of men over 60 admitted they struggled to ask for emotional support, even from someone they trust. Another study published in the Journal of Aging Studies showed that while over 70% of older women regularly lean on close relationships for comfort, only about 30% of older men do the same. It could be as simple as letting you cook him a meal when he's tired, or admitting he doesn't understand his new medication and asking for your help. Maybe it's allowing you to see his moments of weakness, when he's sick, when he's sad, or when his confidence falters. To most men, these moments are private battles. To let you in is to quietly declare, "I don't have to carry this alone because I trust you to stand with me." Many women overlook this or even misread it, thinking his need makes him less strong, or that leaning on them means he's losing independence. But the truth is the opposite. When a man over 60 accepts care, it doesn't mean weakness, it means courage. It means he's strong enough to lower his guard and let someone else touch the parts of him he's always protected. Responding well to these moments makes all the difference. When he opens the door and allows you to care for him, the way you handle it can either deepen the bond or quietly close it again. The key is to meet that openness with grace. Don't dismiss it, don't tease, and don't treat it like a burden. Offer your care without keeping score, and let him feel respected even in his vulnerability. This balance, giving without pressure and receiving without shame, is what transforms companionship into a bond that lasts. And now we arrive at the place where everything comes together. We've walked through each truth one by one and seen how they reveal the deeper ways a man shows you that you are special. This is where I gather it all so you can carry the whole picture with you. At the heart of all we've explored today is this: when a man over 60 chooses to share his inner world, his fears, his family, his daily life, his quiet needs, it's not routine, it's recognition. It's his way of showing that you are not just passing company, but a presence he trusts and values. But remember, this truth isn't only about him. It's also about you, creating the kind of steady, grounded life that welcomes his trust without needing it to complete you. Because after 60, love is strongest when it grows from freedom, not dependency. As Rumi once wrote, "The quieter you become, the more you can hear." When you hold space with patience and respect, you allow him to open, and in that opening, love deepens. So, if this message resonated with you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Journey After 60, and save it to return to whenever you need a reminder. And don't forget, leave me a comment below. Tell me what part of today's lesson spoke to you most, or what topic you'd like us to explore next time. Thanks for watching my video, and see you next time.